Kind of see where they go. Hopefully pick off some of these. Ooh, he gets some really good rolls off those boom bots. I don't know if it's going to be enough to save him. It'll depend on what this mind control tech takes, and it's a little unfortunate for him. He gets potentially the worst target there. So he's going to need something to help him survive, or he is in for a world of hurt next turn. I don't see a great answer there. He was hoping to get one of those 8/8 so he could Shadow Flame. So the battle cry still going off thanks to Braun going off twice, so he gets a squirrel off one and a Devilsaur off the other. Fortunately, he got the Devilsaur off one, so he was able to clear the board with that Shadow Flame we were talking about. So he's going to live to see another turn, so really well navigated by Luis Carlo. I didn't see a great way out of that, but he was able to stave off the pressure and survive another turn. Unfortunately for him, Akagi has the Dr. Boom Dark Bomb, able to establish his own board again really nicely and pick off that Tink Master. So we'll see what Luis Carlo is able to tap into. He's hoping some of these go face so he can get more value out of that Jiraxis, but unfortunately for him, they killed off his Sun Fury instead of going face, so getting a little bit less value as far as heal goes. And he wasn't able to tap since he drew earlier in the turn to get the heal, so valuing the heal, the tap and the heal over the 6/6 coming down this turn. Akagi left a tap. He's still got really good board presence for that Defender of Argus, and that's really going to slow down Luis Carlo. Let's see if he can navigate this one. He's got the heal, but he's still dead on board. Akagi has exactly 15 damage just on board, which is as much health as Luis Carlo can get to. So he is going to heal up, and he's able to pick off a couple damage. So Akagi's going to need a little bit of help from his hand if he wants to lock this game up right now. And there it is. So the 12 damage on board, or 13 damage on board if you know how to do math, plus this Hellfire is going to finish off Luis Carlo in game one. So Akagi taking game one with, or taking game two rather, with his Warlock. He's going to go up 2-0. So congrats to Akagi here in this third place match. He's sitting really pretty to take home that the third place and a little bit more prize money. Both of these players are going to get 1 point in the BlizzCon standings, but fourth place will get $5, and third place will get $10. So not a whole lot of money on the line, but the BlizzCon points are really huge here for these players that are trying to advance through the BlizzCon stages, I'm sure. So hopefully we'll get some more funding here in the future, and hope this tournament grows so we can get these players a little bit more prize money as well as the BlizzCon points. So that's what we're working towards here. But for now, we're going to go into game 3. Akagi left with just his warrior, and Luis Carlo going to switch it up. He's going to go with his hunter. So we'll see who's able to, if Luis Carlo can climb his way back into this series, or Akagi has a chance to lock it down right now. He's got the weapons in hand, which are really good. Luis Carlo playing more of that aggressive hunter, as we saw earlier. So he's going to throw the Leper Gnome out there. Not a great target for the War X, but a target nonetheless. So he's going to take 4 damage in total from that Leper Gnome. Leaves Luis Carlo free to coin out the Argent Horse Rider, which is now going to be really annoying for Akagi. He has the Slam, fortunately for him. So he's going to slam that, draw a card, see what he can get, and then he's able to clear up the rest of the Horse Rider anyway. So taking a decent amount of damage, but able to control the board with those weapons. He's got War Axe next turn. But probably not going to come out. He probably wants to establish some health. So I imagine we'll see maybe the War Axe and the Hero Power. Because he's already down to 19, so he's going to want to start playing a tad bit defensive, especially with the bow to the face last turn from Luis Carlo, who's really putting on the pressure here early on. So that's the exact play that Akagi goes with. Wants to value that armor up, help him survive a little bit longer. Now that Knife Slugger is going to get a little bit of value immediately here on turn 4. He's able to couple it with the Mad Scientist. He does decide to swing with the weapon regardless, putting on the pressure. He's not going to hold it and wait to get a secret out from Mad Scientist. He's going to use it right now. If he draws into another one, he'll be able to equip that right away. So there's the argument for that. There goes the secret. It's going to slow down Akagi's Acolyte. I imagine he'll proc it. He's going to swing in and kill the Mad Scientist first. Able to get the nice seal off the Shield Maiden. He does not opt to proc it because now that he was able to play that Shield Maiden, if it's freezing, he's able to trade in that Shield Maiden and play her again to get another 5 armor. So I imagine that's the play he's got in mind. Luis Carlo only has one thing on his mind, and that is to smork the face. So he plays down the Arcane Golem and Hero Powers, putting Akagi down to 9 already. That Baron Geddon seems kind of tempting to clear that off. But he would be taking 2 damage to his face regardless, so he'd be down to 7 already. The Revenge can deal with it as well. So I imagine one of those will be coming out. He doesn't want to take 4 damage to the face again. So he's going to start with the Acolyte and kind of see what secret it is. It was the Freezing Trap, so ignore the play that I talked about earlier about getting Shield Maiden freezing trapped. He's going to keep the board presence and set up his own Sylvanas and armor. So he is now back up to 11, which for the time being is out of lethal range. Luis Carlo max had 9 damage from hand. He's going to hold on to the quick shot and just use the hero power. Makes a lot of sense. Get value out of that hero power. Now Akagi in a really difficult position. He's got to heal up for quite a bit because Luis Carlo has 8 damage again from hand and the hero power. He has 8 damage a couple different ways. He can either use his hero power or throw down the Haunted Creeper to buff the kill command. So several ways he can do it. The quick shot is even more damage. So that's a lot of damage coming out of Kagi's face, and he's going to stave off elimination and take game 3 with his Hunter. So this series is going to go to a game 4, and Akagi is going to have to pull out a win with his Warrior, and Luis Carlo is going to have to defeat that Warrior a couple more times if he wants to take home 3rd place in this tournament. So very exciting. You don't like seeing 3-0s unless you're the person winning with a 3-0. Then of course it's nice to see, but it's a little bit more exciting if you're able to watch a little bit more of a back and forth series, if you ask me. So Luis Carlo gonna try to take a second victory with his Warlock. He's got to win with both, so it really didn't matter which one he chose first. Feeling a little bit more comfortable with that Warlock, though, I imagine. Hold off on the Warrior mirror match, especially if that's the Control mirror match. We'll thank him for holding off on that, unless it comes down to it. That game can get that matchup can get really hero power pass and extend for quite a while. We get to see the Warlock first. He's going to throw down the Zombie Chow. Really strong one drop, put on the pressure. Akagi this time does not have the weapon to answer the early game pressure from Luis Carlo. So the Zombie Chow going to be able to cancel out the hero power. Luis Carlo debating on the coin here. He's got the coin Imp Gang boss, which seems pretty strong. You know your opponent does not have a weapon in hand right now, or they undoubtedly would have, well, at least did not have a war axe in hand, because they would have killed the Zombie Chow for sure. So now what do? Do you want to use your coin here, or just want to tap to build your resources for later on? That's what he's going to do. He's going to play the slower game, doesn't need to rush him down with the coin Imp Gang boss. So Akagi just stuck with that hero power pass. Again, Cruel Task wouldn't have done much. It would have buffed your opponent's minions, if anything. So Luis Carlo just going to establish the Imp Gang boss we talked about and keep the armor gain at bay from Akagi, who was forced to hero power pass again. He's finally next turn going to be able to play one of those 5-drops. So that's when we'll start to see some action for him. But Luis Carlo building up a pretty decent board. Akagi going to go with the Lotheb first to lock out Luis Carlo's spells this turn. Doesn't feel too pressured, or doesn't feel pressured enough to throw down the Sludge Belcher. So he's going to opt for that first. Luis Carlo going to trade in the Zombie Chow first so that Akagi can only get 4 health as opposed to the max of 5 health. So good sequencing from him. This Justicar coming down on 6 could be huge in the long term. So that's definitely an investment card from him for sure. He will be able to gain 4 armor every time he hero powers, which so far has been fairly often. Luis Carlo finally going to use that coin to put out the Dr. Boom, and that's a lot of pressure. Akagi does not have the Brawl at this point in time, so it makes dealing with this board a little bit more awkward. The Revenge can clear up some of the smaller minions, but he's probably not too scared of those just yet. Looks like he's going to go with the Armor Smith and the Sludge Belcher. Get a lot of value out of the Armor Smith, forcing your opponent to have to deal with that Sludge Belcher first. And every time it takes damage, you're going to be gaining armor. Luis Carlo has the Silence to slow that down and hold the Armor Smith value to 2 armor. The Boombot going face for 4, so Luis Carlo, seeing the damage there, is just going to go face and see if he can end this game before Akagi is able to draw into some of his board clears, such as the Brawl. He's also left with a 3-4 Belcher, which is good for him because it makes the trade a little bit more awkward for Akagi. Looks like he's going to start with the Revenge so he can set up that exact trade we talked about, assuming he survives. It does. Akagi also able to set up the Despite to deal with the Slime. Doesn't have a way to deal with Boom though, so the Boom's going to be able to connect to the face one more time. And with Akagi already at 16 health, Luis Carlo would need 9 from hand, which is he has the Ragnaros, but that's not quite enough at this point in time. We may see it come out anyway, because that's just a lot of pressure. And we already know that Akagi does not have an Execute. Shield Slam not going to be enough. And Luis Carlo able to even up the series with his Warlock at 2 games apiece. So this game, or this match I should say, is going to go the distance as well. So we've got another match going 5 games. So really exciting Hearthstone going on here today. Oh, they didn't take very much time during the break. Not expected. They both know they're left with 1 class each, so they gotta win with. They both gotta win with their warrior. So it's gonna be Luis Carlo on the top, Akagi at the bottom one more time. Both playing warrior. And we will see if Luis Carlo can complete the reverse sweep, or if Akagi can pull it back and stave off the late push here from Luis Carlo. Should be a very interesting game. They are both playing the control warrior, so get comfortable, guys. We may be in for a long one here. Akagi gonna open up the hero power passing here on turn 2. I imagine Luis Carlo's gonna follow suit. And here we go. There's not gonna be a whole lot to commentate in this one. Hero power pass again. I'll try to make up stuff, but for the most part, we're gonna see those hero powers collect quite a bit. Luis Carlo does try to get some card draw here with the Acolyte of Pain. Akagi's going to answer it with the War Axe. He's able to get that out early, and he's only getting 1 card off of it, which can be good, because if this game goes to fatigue, you don't want to be stuck with that in your hand at the end of the game, because you don't want to drop it and take the extra fatigue damage from it. So, getting it out of the way for 1 card, I should say, and eating a charge of the War Axe. Akagi just going to drop the Lotheb. Kind of difficult for Luis Carlo to deal with, since he didn't swing last turn with the Despite. He's not able to kill it in that manner this turn. Completely understandable that he didn't swing with it last turn, just pointing out the repercussions. And Akagi able to trade in pretty nicely, deal with that Sludge Belcher. Keeps the Lotheb at just enough health so it does not die to the death rattle of the Despite when it goes off. It wouldn't have been this turn regardless. And it looks like Luis Carlo with that Execute and Bash is able to deal with most of the board here. He could deal with the whole thing if he wanted to slam it, but I don't think he's feeling too pressured by that slime at this moment. So Akagi's just gonna armor up and see if he wants to establish that one of those weapons now. He is gonna go with the War Axe for the time being. Set that up so that he has something to swing with next turn while he establishes the rest of his plays. Luis Carlo on 7, just gonna drop Dr. Boom. Akagi with that hero power does have enough to shield slam it. Enough armor, I mean, to shield slam it. Also going to trade off with that Boom Bot. So the slime sacrificing itself into a Boom Bot. The other one had to go to the face. So now we're back up to Luis Carlo, who has the Ragnaros. And the Rag Shot is going to put him out of Armor Shield Slam range. And I don't see a great way to deal with this for Akagi. He has the Bash, but no Execute to go with it. The Cruel Task Execute would have been an option as well. So it looks like he's going to have to deal a lot of resources into it. He's going to Weapon, Bash, Armor, and Shield Slam for 2, it appears, is where he's headed with this. I can't be entirely sure. There we go. So he is able to clear the Rag, but it was not as efficient as he would have liked. So using up a lot of resources on that one minion. That's exactly what Luis Carlo was hoping for. And now that he knows Akagi does not have an Execute, or can feel pretty sure that he doesn't have an Execute, he's going to be able to drop down this Ysera. Akagi not having a way to deal with that much health. in a minion. He's just going to drop his own Ysera. And we'll have the Battle of the Yseras. Luis Carlo does have the Execute, but he's also got a lot of damage. Is this enough? 4 to the face, going to put him down to 19. The Ysera and the Grom going to put him down to 5, so it wasn't quite enough damage, but with the Execute on the backside of that, leaves a really good board for Luis Carlo and not a whole lot of health for Akagi. And this game may be over a lot faster than I expected. And all that pressure from Luis Carlo, Akagi not drawing the answers in the Execute, and Luis Carlo able to complete the reverse sweep, and he's going to take home 3rd place in the Elephino Open number 9. So congrats to him. Congrats to both players for making it to the top 4 and earning a BlizzCon World Championship point, which will help them in the tournament, which I believe will be next month. So keep an eye out for that if you're following the scene. But for now, that will do it for us in that match. We will be back here shortly for the finals match between Sniper 8 and RDU, so you definitely don't want to miss that. That's going to be a lot of great Hearthstone and a lot of good action, so stick around and we'll see you soon. Hello everyone, welcome back to Elephino Open number 9. We are getting ready to start the finals match between Sniper 8 and RDU. So this is the moment you have all been waiting for. We are about done. So we will finally know at the end of this match who will be the Elephino Open number 9 champion. It looks like Sniper 8 is going to have Druid, Hunter, and Paladin, and RDU is going to be Druid, Rogue, and Warlock. So they are both getting ready to do battle, and then we will get you guys into this action of the finals match. So the winner of this match will take home $15, but more importantly, they will take home 3 World Championship points. And the second place, so the loser of this match, will take home $10, but will get 2 points in the BlizzCon World Championship standings. So there's that rundown. They are ready to start, so let me get you guys in there, and we will start viewing some of this awesome Hearthstone action. There we go. We got them both in here. You should be seeing Sniper's cards here any second now. There we go. So RDU opening up with his Rogue, and Sniper gonna go ahead and open up with his Druid. Both very strong classes. RDU is the only player to bring Rogue in the top 4. So really impressive showing from him with the Rogue. Looks like we may have a bug here. Yep, we do. Sorry guys. We have to restart this one. I won't even bother leaving this screen because we will get you guys right back in there. So I apologize for that spectator bug, which happens from time to time. But here we go. We're going to come back in on turn 4. So we missed a couple plays, but you can kind of see what happened on the board here. Sniper now is left with the mind control tech that I assume he had to tempo out. And RDU with the arguably the better board presence right now, but it does trade in very nicely for Sniper 8. So he can trade in his board and establish this Azure Drake with the use of the coin, or with the help of the coin. So he does not do that. Sniper going on the aggressive with combo in hand already, so he's going to set down RDU to 19 and really establish the more aggressive stance in this matchup. So he's leaving RDU free to take the slightly better trade into the Azure Drake if he wants it. He is going to take the value trade here though, and he's going to clear in this manner. So that was a very strong play for RDU, able to clear the board and keep his guy. Oh, I apologize. He was not able to clear the board because he had to use the combo SI into the Eviscerate. So only one could benefit from the combo, so he was not able to SI off the 1/1. So my mistake on that one. So leave Sniper free to trade off the rest of that. He's also going to set up his Shade and Hero Power as well to maintain that aggressive stance. RDU picks up the Boom, so that was huge. So he's able to coin out the Boom. And now he can potentially be aggressive here with this board presence. Sniper has combo in hand, but he's a couple turns away from being able to use that. Just got a little bit closer with that Emperor Thorzen coming down now. So Sniper will be able to combo next turn. So if this Shade survives, RDU could be looking at lethal here. He could trade in the 3/3 first to give his Boombot better odds of killing the Shade. But instead, he's going to go with the flurry here. So that was really well played by him. Able to clear the board with that flurry. And put a lot of damage on Sniper's face. And Sniper, who tried to be aggressive, had that snuffed out by some really good plays from RDU. So Sniper, hoping that Shade would live and that he could combo his opponent down this turn, finds himself having to be a little bit defensive this turn. So he could use the combo to clear, which it looks like that's what he's going to do, but that gives all tempo back to RDU, but he's got to survive somehow. And if you just set up the taunt, then you are dead to a sap. So he's going to use this to play around sap. And you can't play around everything, but this was the option that he decided to was best. Since he had already seen a Eviscerate from RDU, it was less likely that he had another one and a deadly poison. He didn't have the sap either, but Sniper didn't know that. So now Sniper kind of running out of options here. He's going to have to put the Druid of the Claw out this turn. He's able to swipe off one of these minions. He goes with the Azure Drake. Makes sense. It's going to go ahead and clear off the spell power there. And then this backstab, along with the Edwin Van Cleef, is going to finish it off pretty nicely and leave RDU with the nice board here. With that swing in, he is threatening lethal next turn, assuming Sniper does not at least hero power. Sniper does have the Ancient of Lore to heal, but you gotta debate whether it's just helping you get back into it or if it's just staving off the inevitable if you heal here. So that's what he's debating on right now. So we'll see what he opts to play with. He cannot throw out the Lore and the Keeper, so he's only able to play one of these minions. That arrow looks like he's going to go with the heal. And he does. He's able to hero power off one of these 1/1s. So that's what he decides to do. Prevents the trades coming in super cleanly from RDU. He's just going to throw down the Earthen Ring Farseer, heal himself back up a little bit. And I imagine he'll just be pushing this damage to the face. He's already seen one combo. Sniper is down to 2 cards. The odds that he has another combo are not good. So Sniper draws into his other Druid of the Claw. That's he can put that up as taunt for now. Kind of hold off a little bit of pressure. Use the Ancient of Lore to trade into that Violet Teacher, undoubtedly. And unfortunately, he is dead to a sap. RDU doesn't have it right now, but if he top decks it, he does not. RDU gonna trade in and clean that up with his weapon. Now, what does he do with these 2 1/1s? You can argue to trade him into the Ancient of Lore to finish it off, or you can send him to the face. Sending him to the face now, or at least one of them, allows you to use an Eviscerate top deck to kill your opponent next turn, even if he hero powers. Which I suppose you could do anyway, because you would have the weapon. So he's going to use the prep now for the extra 1/1. So he really wants to have as large a board presence as possible. Fortunately for him, Sniper is 1 damage off lethal right now. So Sniper's going to have to make some trades of his own. He's able to keeper one of them off. He can trade the Lotheb into the Teacher. And then he can hero power one down, trade in with the other.
I must safeguard the land.
So he's going to go with this play. He's going to keep his Lotheb a little bit healthier as opposed to keeping both minions on board in a weakened state. Seems viable to me. This Azure Drake could come in handy. Let's see what RDU is able to top deck. The Sap not going to be much help here. He's just going to have to send the weapon charge to the face. Set Sniper down to 1. Looks like he is going to sap the Lotheb. When I said no help, I meant no help killing Sniper, but it's definitely good for that use right there because it prevents Sniper from being able to kill the Azure Drake on board. The Ancient of Lore top deck is pretty good, able to heal himself back up. So we'll see if he can survive another turn. Both players going to be in top deck mode after this Innervate Lotheb. And Sniper threatening lethal on board. The Sap going to stave off the lethal for one more turn. But again, it does not help him kill Sniper. So we'll see if he wants to take the value trade here, or if he wants to set his opponent down to 1 again. If he takes the value trade here, he's assuming that Swiper will have to sink the remaining 5/5 into it regardless, since he'll be undoubtedly sapping 1 back to the face, probably the Lotheb. There goes the Lotheb to prevent the heal again. Are you just going to go ahead and re-equip the dagger right now? Because why not? This Wrath is not great. He could Wrath for 1, but it doesn't really help him make the trades too cleanly either way. So I imagine he'll Wrath for 1 and see what he can get. Wild Growth is more card draw, but I don't imagine he'll use it since he wants to hero power and Lotheb. He had to hero power so he's not just dead to the weapon of RDU for obvious reasons. And he had to kill the Azure Drake, again, for largely obvious reasons. So, that's exactly what he does. RDU picking up the prep, that's not going to save him this turn, and Sniper able to hang on long enough to take game 1 with his Druid. So he's going to go up 1-0 over RDU. And game 2 going to be coming at you, hopefully really shortly. We'll see if RDU decides to stick with his rogue or if he wants to switch it up. Sniper H cannot play his Druid again. I'm sure you all know that by now. Just restating that in case you're joining us. This is Conquest format, best of 5. So here we go, game 2 action coming right at you. Let's go ahead and give the Druid for Sniper a check mark. And there we go. We are all ready for game 2. Sniper going with his Paladin. And RDU does decide to switch to his Warlock. So as you can see right there, and we saw earlier, it's more of the Zoo variation. And Sniper, I believe, was running the mid-range, kind of indicated by the Aldor, and I also believe he was the one that had the Murloc Knight, but I could definitely be mistaken. He does have the Mysterious Challenger, so he has some sort of secret package as well. So RDU gonna utilize that coin to throw out the M-Gang boss. Can be really strong against Paladin. Those 1/1s are really annoying for them to deal with. Trades obviously very cleanly into the Sniper's hero power. So he's just going to throw out the muster and peg off the Flame Imp. Seems like a strong play. RDU looks like he's flirting with that Knife Juggler because when the 1/1 comes out of the Imp Gang boss, it would proc a juggle, but he's going to go with the Peddler instead. try to save that knife juggler for a turn where he can protect it a little bit better. Because no matter where that juggle went, he would have been able to kill it on board and with the weapon. So he had no way to protect the juggler. So he's going to save it for a little bit more value later on. Now Sniper going to trade in, proc an extra 1/1. So now the Imp King boss dies to Consecrate. He has the weapon to clean up the remaining 1/1. Using Consecrate for a pretty good turn there. He's able to maintain board presence with that 1/1. So now RDU looks like he's going with the juggler. This is a huge juggle here again. He kind of nailed the last one we said was a huge juggle, and he gets this one again as well. So the juggles appear to be on point for RDU. So it may not seem like much, but that prevented Sniper from just trading in the 1/1 and using his previous weapon to kill the juggler. So now he's going to have to throw out the True Silver to deal with it this turn and prevent additional value. So so RDU gonna get some value off of this abusive while he can. He's gonna go ahead and do the abusive so that he can taunt up both minions and be very mana efficient. And not to mention send 2 damage to face. Send an extra 2 damage. Sniper does have the owl. So he's gonna be able to shut down that egg completely, so that could be huge for him. Not having to deal with the egg at all. RDU picking up the implosion, not terrible here. He's going to tap into a second implosion. Looks like he's going to use it to pick off the owl. Seems pretty good. He's going to send the Argus to the face.
Who am I? None of your business.
Sniper able to play that mysterious challenger. He wasn't able to play it on 6 because he had to do some board cleanup, but now he's able to drop it on turn 7. RDU does have a lot of minions to pick this up, and Sniper only got 2 secrets out of it, so he's only running very few secrets in his deck because he doesn't have any in hand either. So looks like he's only running the Noble Sacrifice Avenge package. So we can safely say he may have more Noble Sacrifices and Avenges in his pack. Ooh, RDU gets the 4. That was huge. Able to pick off that Avenge target. He's got the Power Overwhelming to trade in there as well, and he's dealing with this very nicely. So back to what I was saying about the secrets is Sniper may have another Noble Sacrifice and Avenge, but he doesn't have any other types of secrets in his deck.
None may steal us.
Sniper, not a terrible turn, able to throw out the Piloted Shredder and buff up one of his 1/1s. He's just going to the face though. He does not feel threatened by this board. He's assuming RDU will have to take the value trades into him, and that Direwolf Alpha will definitely help that happen. So he throws it perfectly in the middle, allows these minions to trade very nicely. He's gonna refill up the left side of his board to have minions that get buffed on both sides of that Direwolf Alpha. He goes for the Void Caller, deciding not to throw the taunt out there, which will allow Sniper to clear off the Direwolf Alpha if he so chooses. You'll see where the juggle goes first. Gets the juggles, picks off the 1/1, avoids the juggles from killing the Haunted Creeper, so that was good for him. Now the Void Walker coming down. Now he's going to tap into the Flame Imp as well, so he's going to set himself back down to 9. He's going to have to use this Doom Guard to kind of clear up some of these minions. Looks like he's aiming it at the 3/3, which makes sense. It prevents that from trading in very nicely to the Void Walker. So now Sniper will have to invest 2 minions worth of attacks. He could play the Muster if he wanted to, which would allow him to send 1 damage to face, but Looks like he's going to go with the Aldor instead to keep that Lotheb in check and prevent him from dying, so that seems like a good play. Because RDU did have lethal on board. He also picks up lethal off the top deck, so that is going to nullify the Aldor Peacekeeper, essentially. And RDU going to tie up the series at 1 game apiece with his Warlock. So now RDU's Warlock is locked out with that victory, so he will have to change classes. We'll see what he goes next. Sniper can opt for the Paladin again, or he can change as well. So we'll see what they do. They're playing the mind games, trying to figure out what their opponents are going to bring, so this decision may take a little bit longer. But here we go. They've decided, and we are ready for game 3. So it's going to be Sniper's Paladin versus RDU's Rogue. Let's go ahead and give RDU's Warlock the check mark. So we got an even series of game at 1 apiece, so this essentially becomes a best of 3. Not a phenomenal starting hand from RDU. Prep does not help you get out Dr. Boom, so that's unfortunate for him. Sniper able to start out with a secret. He could have coined out one of those 2-drops, but he's going to play it a little bit slower. RDU's going to see if that's a noble sacrifice, so he can pop that. It is not, so now he knows it's Avenge. Because RDU saw the both secrets that came out of the Mysterious Challenger, so he knows exactly which secrets Sniper has. Able to clean up that mini-bot in a similar fashion that we saw him do in a previous game. Pop off the shield with the weapon and backstab it. Even able to re-establish the weapon, so he didn't have the best starting hand, but he's able to stave off this early game pressure anyway with the help of those backstabs. So drawing both of those early on was really huge to preventing Sniper and his Paladin from snowballing the board out of control. RDU picks up the sprint, so prep sprint seems like a pretty good play here. Not a whole lot of pressure on Sniper's side. So he's going to go ahead and take that advantage while he can. Looks like he's also going to take these trades here to prevent the Avenge from going off a little later. So he's going to dictate those trades. Also prevents a target for Coghammer. I don't imagine that's exactly what he was playing around, but effective nonetheless. So RDU finally able to coin out that boom that he's been holding on to, and he did a really excellent job of holding off the pressure all the way this late in the game. It would have been so easy for Sniper to snowball and Paladin to snowball these games. But fortunately for RDU, he was able to find the answers and hold them at bay. Really strong turn though now from Sniper. Able to nerf the Dr. Boom down to a more manageable size and set up the Coghammer. He hits the target. I imagine that's where he would have wanted it to go. It didn't make a huge bit of difference. RDU gonna send that back though. He doesn't want to deal with it now, and I don't blame him. So he's gonna sap that Pilot Shredder. Just kind of see where these boom bots go. It does go face, so he's just gonna opt for one charge of the deadly poison to deal with that very efficiently, as opposed to gambling on the second boom bot killing it. He's gonna take the guaranteed kill there, so hard to argue with that. Sniper playing the Mysterious Challenger on 7 again. Able to bring out his other secrets. So now we know he has Noble Sacrifice and Avenge. So RDU starting with the Boombot, gonna proc the Avenge. We'll see where the Boombot goes. Obviously the Avenge is gonna go on the Challenger. RDU can deal with it if he wants to. but he doesn't have to. The Eviscerate's really going to help, so now it makes the trades a lot cleaner. So he's going to go with that, and I imagine he sends the Dr. Boom in there. There he does. Keeps a really nice board for himself, and is able to clear Sniper, so he manages that Mysterious Challenger really nicely. Sniper, looking at the Tyrion, doesn't feel too great right now with the board that RDU has established. He has seen a sap though, so feels a little bit safer that RDU is going to have to get through it in a slightly more difficult way, but the second Eviscerate being picked up off the top is going to be huge. The oil even being picked up, so is this enough damage for lethal if that oil hits? My rogue math is not very good, but I assume RDU's is much, much better, and he's calculating it out right now, whether he just wants to eviscerate that, or if he can use the oil here to try to clear that off. I don't imagine there's enough damage for lethal, but if it does hit a minion, it would allow him to trade off those 1/1s if the oil does indeed hit one of those 1/1s that's left to attack. So that's the debate he's going with. It's a little bit riskier, but he's going with it. He can still deal with the Tyrion regardless. So it does hit one of the 1/1s, so he wins the gamble there. And is able to just sacrifice one of those 1/1s into Tyrion. And now Sniper in a rough spot still. He's going with the rag, so he's got the 1 in 6. That rag goes to the face. So here we go. It was the only shot that he had. Oh, it went straight. I thought he had it there for a second. That was, I'm sure that slowed RDU's heart a little bit too, but it did not. He ended up killing that minion in the middle, so RDU taking game 3 with his rogue is going to go up 2 games to 1, and he will be left with his druid. So if you only have one class left to win with, I imagine druid is not a bad one to have. So let's go ahead and give the rogue a victory. And now RDU just has to win one of these next 2 games with his druid. So Sniper gonna stick with the Paladin though, so he feels pretty confident with it. RDU does have the Living Roots, which is really strong against Paladin in the opening. He even has the Wrath. So if Sniper decides to coin out the mini bot, he can deal with it pretty cleanly. He's gonna coin out the Haunted Creeper, which makes a lot more sense. RDU can deal with this if he wants to, but let's see what he top decks. Wrathing that for 3 doesn't feel too great, so it looks like he's just gonna hero power and get to work on that creeper, and I imagine send these 2 to the face. And that's what he does. So Sniper now gonna play the mini bot, pick off one of those 1/1s to make his board a little bit stronger. So RDU left with that 1/1. He's gonna opt to peg off the Divine Shield. Leaves him open to keeper that down next turn, or if he can get a top deck a tap deck Swipe, that would be really huge for him. So Sniper really playing into the Swipe. But RDU does not have it, so he's going to get rewarded with the aggressive muster for battle. And now Sniper has a target for that Cog Hammer, also able to set up his Avenge, so RDU is going to have to navigate that on whether it's Noble Sacrifice or Avenge. So we'll see what he opts to do here. I imagine ooh, hold the phone. I was going to say a Hero Power will come out, but now he's just going to try to pop the secret with his Keeper. He knows it's Avenge now, which leaves him free to clear the entire board with a swipe. Sniper gonna toss the owl out there. He didn't have much else to do, so he's just gonna nerf that down. He can weapon it down if he wants to. So that's the debate he's going with here. He's also going to go with the Noble Sacrifice and Hero Power, undoubtedly, as opposed to the Aldor. So that was the inner debate he was having, as well as this decision to swing. He does decide to swing, leaves RDU with just the Keeper on board. This will allow him to prop the Noble Sacrifice. We'll see what he wants to follow it up with. He has the Wrath, which seems like a pretty good option here. Unfortunately, he cannot set up the Druid with the Claw, so he's just going to Hero Power down that 2-1 and clear the board, clear Sniper's board really nicely. Has to float a couple mana, but when you're looking at an empty board on the Paladin side, you got to feel pretty good about the turn. So now Sniper just going to have to Hero Power and Keeper his 1-1 up to a 3-3. Seems like a pretty okay turn. The only way RDU can deal with that right now, or as far as Sniper was concerned, was with the Hero Power. But RDU picks up the Innervate off the top, so he's going to be able to Innervate out this combo with exact lethal thanks to that Keeper of the Grove sticking around. And a turn 7 Innervate Keeper, or Innervate combo, the nightmare when you're facing Druid, has come to true for RDU, so he's going to go ahead and take the series 3-1 over Sniper. So congratulations to RDU. He is the Elephino Open number 9 champion. So really strong play from him as well as Sniper 8. So we want to thank both of them for playing in our tournament. And I will show the bracket again real quick. And you guys just saw that RDU is the champion, but you can see the prizes on the left side of your screen. So that'll do it for us. We'll give one last quick thank you to all the players, all 256 players who played in the Elephino Open number 9. Elephino Open number 10 will be next Sunday. The stream will start at the exact same time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you want to get involved in the tournament, definitely check out strivewire.com. You can see their logo on the bottom of your screen still. So they do a lot of the open tournaments that I